Welcome to my series Stencil-A-Month. I usually try and pull out older stencils to use. However, this time I'm pulling out the spring stencil backgrounds from Spellbinders. It's the February Stencil of the Month Club. I haven't used it yet, and February is almost over. So the four stencils that came with it are this one, which looks like daisies to me. It also has a mask. It says 4 stencils and a mask, and that this is the mask. So you can mask off the center so that you don't put any ink in the center if you just want all of this around, or you could ink everywhere around the mask with just plain color. That's another option. We might try that. Now these two are not, that looks like daisies. This one I'm going to use first, or maybe the only one, I don't know. I think I want to do that one and this one. Yeah. Daisies today. And then I have some dies, separate dies we'll use. And then these two look a little, they don't look like the same flower. This is not a daisy. This is more like maybe a pansy or something. I don't know. But it looks like this. And then this one here. I don't know if they have individual names. I don't see any. So these are the 4 we got this month, and they're not layering stencils this time. So that's unusual, but that's okay. I don't mind having just individual stencils too, because I use them quite a bit. So I'm going to put these 2 that we're not going to use away. And we'll lay this one on top of here, and I'll move them off my area for the moment. So I brought in 2 distress oxides, scattered straw and fossilized amber. I have not tested these yet to see the brightness level, and I don't think I've ever used either one of them. All right, we're going to start with fossilized amber, and then I think I'm going to come in and use this little makeup brush thing I got in a big set from Amazon. I actually might get another set of them because I like to have one for each color. So that's what we're probably going to do. So, and I'm only going to do the top. Now these stencils say that they are for 4.5 by 6 inch. So I cut my paper 4.5 by 6 inch, but the stencil doesn't, well, I guess it does go down, oh, not quite if you put the border, but I took this off the paper because I want the flowers right up to the edge, and I moved it. You see, the thing is, I have this all the way over to the edge, so again, I get the flower, but then I'll end up cutting about a 1/4 inch off on this side. That's okay. I don't mind that. All right, so let's just go for it. Now, some daisies have white centers, so clearly, if you want a white center, you'd have to mask off those little centers. I have some black fuzzy on this or something. Now, if you're going to use your inks a long time, I highly recommend also getting the ink refills, and I have them because some of these inks that I have never used already appear kind of dry. Now, I know oxides are like that anyway, and it doesn't need to be totally consistent because flowers aren't totally consistent, right? Daisies are so pretty. I love flowers. I just can't grow them. So I prefer my flowers on paper. Plus, for those that have allergies, I don't, but well, I don't have flower allergies, but my son does. So I have to be careful. Like roses are terrible. We actually both end up sneezing. I love the way they look. I just, the scent of them, there's something about them neither one of us can handle. Okay, let's proceed with fossilized amber. I have not tested this color either, but it's much deeper, and I'm going to try and carefully go in these little centers and make them a little darker. You know what would work better? Maybe. I have Q-tips. Let's try Q-tips because that those little centers are pretty small, and I don't really want to get it on the rest of the flower, and it appears to me like the stencil moved just a little bit, but I think it'll still be okay. Yeah, this works really good. So there's a tip for you. Is that the last center? I think it is. Oop, this one got a little, see, this works much better. The Q-tip for those little centers if you want them a different color, which I did. Okay, and that one we'll just throw out later, or I'll keep it until we're done the next stencil. So there's the first one. Let's pull it up and see. So the weather is getting a little bit warmer today. What's today? Tuesday. I think we're going to be in the mid 50s Fahrenheit today. Weather girl here, right? I'm actually going to go walking with my daughter today at lunchtime. She works from the home, so I'm going to trim that down. Actually, I'm going to do it right now. About 1/4 inch. And that'll be the top of the card. Now, do I have a little line? I do. So I didn't quite get it off the edge, and I don't want that little line there. So let's see if we can get it. Sometimes if I just put it right there. Okay. So now that measures just about 4.5. So that's fine. That'll cover, oh, you know what? There's a little stripe over on this side too. Let's just take that off. In fact, we'll take that off and then I'll see. I'm going to cut it down to 4.25 because for a card, I prefer it to be at 4.25 anyway, which it is. It's at 4.25, so perfect. Now and then by 5.5. If I'd have known how that was going to work, or 5.25. Let's do. Wait, 4.25. Yeah, 5.5. That's the whole card front, right? That's okay. Let's cut it down for an A2. If you wanted it to be a 5x7, leave it and you'll have to put some backgrounds. But that's our first one. You see that first one I did got a little bit funky. And did I miss some petals here? Let me line that back up. I might have missed a little. Well, it's very faint. I think I could get in there a little better. Well, no, they're not full petals. Huh. Interesting. It's sort of like that one, sort of abstract looking there. But it's okay. Now, you could do this on colored cardstock and use a little bit darker colors, and that would fill in some of that white if you don't like all that white. The other thing you could do is sort of fussy cut around this and put it on a textured background or something. So anyway, that's the first one. Let me get a baby wipe and clean this off a little bit, and then later I will wash them under running water. I try and take care of my stencils so that they last a good long time. And I have a lot of stencils, so yeah. Okay, I have a question for you all. How do you store your stencils? For example, do you keep your Christmassy or winter themed stencils in with your Christmas stuff? Do you keep your, like if you have embossing folders and stamps and dies that are daisies, do you keep the stencils with those, or do you keep them in a bin or a book or something called stencils? Let me know. And do you inventory them and keep an inventory in a book? Let me know that too. Please comment down below. I really want to know the answer to that, because most of my stencils are in my one big iris bin, and they're not in any kind of order right now, so I'm looking to figure out And then I think I have some Christmas ones in with Christmas stuff, you know, that kind of thing. Or Halloween ones in with Halloween, although I found two Halloween ones in my stencil bin yesterday. All right, I have another one here that we're going to do, and I cut the same size it's supposed to be, 4.5 by 6. So let's try this one. I think we'll do it the same way. Actually, I'm not going to really worry about centering it so much this time because we're going to end up having to cut it anyway. So I have to be a little careful though. I don't want to cover any of the stencil. And this one goes all the way on the whole thing. Okay, so I can actually just put this one down along here. Now, how am I going to do the mask? Because I don't want that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see if I can do what we used to do as a tape trick, right? Oop. And that is kind of stick it down like that. And see if that'll hold it in. And I'll just have to try and hold it carefully. Now, so we'll put some up here. And we'll get one more piece for here. How would you do that? I don't know. I don't know. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. We'll use scattered straw with this brush, I guess. See, it's not flush down against the paper. I didn't tack the paper down. Maybe that's a problem, but I think it'll be fine as long as it doesn't move too much. So we'll just go in a circular motion on the smaller flowers. We'll start along the edge and put our tape back down. Let's see if we can get the edge really good. Okay. I'm really going to try not to go in that circle because there's a little space between that mask and the edge of this stencil. I'm going to kind of go on its side a little bit here. So I hope this isn't going to bore you to tears, but the next step is I have some dies, and I'll show them to you when I'm done this stencil. They're not from the same company, but they look like daisies to me. So we're gonna use those. I also could use, I have my daisy punches from Stampin' Up that have retired now. So we could use those as well. You know, could use a darker even color in the center, but I'm going to stick with the dark yellow. If I want to touch it up later, the centers, I can do that, right? Just trying to see if I missed anywhere. Trying to get, see, I keep getting these little black fuzzies. I think they're coming off this black part here. I don't know. I am not sure. Anyway, the weather's getting warmer here a little bit, so I am going to walk with my daughter today. Yay. All right. And that was her idea, so yay. But she works, like I said. Oh, I forgot I was going to use the Q-tip. Q-tip. I think that works better for these little centers. If you have those little tiny makeup brushes like I do, I bought a set, but the problem is they're still a little bigger than some of these. And this Q-tip is working just fine. And if it gets really bad, like fuzzy kind of stuff, I'll just flip it to the other side. And there's another little black speck. I think I need to go over that with a little bit of the scattered straw again. Usually, I mean, daisies can be white too, so another option for this, for one of them, this would be a lot, but for one of them, of the stencils, you could take like a very pale yellow marker and take it and outline, but there's a lot of spots on here. I think that would take too long. I would rather do that with like a die cut and trace around it or something, because I think that would be a little easier. I'm a little bit of a lazy crafter sometimes. I don't want my projects to take, unless they're like a book or something, I don't want them to take 4 hours each or something. An hour max, usually, hour or two. Except for jewelry. Jewelry takes me longer. And that's all on my other channel. If you're not familiar, go check out my channel, Dahlia Designs Jewelry and More. I really need to get a post out there soon, or 2, or 5, because I've been ignoring it a little bit. I kind of lost my jewelry making mojo a little bit, which is really bad because that's my business, not this. This is hobby. All right, let's see. Let's do the reveal. I kept the baby wipe. Yep. Oop. And this tape is scrapbook.com, but you can also get, like I got a pack of 2 of these off Amazon, and it's the same thing. It's just labeling and cover-up tape, they call it. It's just not pretty mint. So, your choice. I don't know the price difference. You can compare, and prices change all the time, like on Amazon and stuff. So, there it is, and I'll be trimming down the edges, but let's wipe our stencil off again. I think it's pretty and dainty. Now I will make it pop a little bit by putting some kind of yellow cardstock behind it, and maybe the darker yellow, which maybe sort of resembles like Stampin' Up's crushed curry, something like that. Go around the edge of your mask too. And I think I'm not going to have a cinnamon here. I'm going to have a bunch of die cut daisies perhaps. We'll see. Let's do this one first. I'm more incentivized, or inspired. Inspired is the right word to do this one. I can't tell because that's a dirty sheet. Did I get that pretty good? Pretty good. I'll wash it off like I said later. Let's put them over here too. Okay, and we'll put this away for now. Now let's, I'm going to throw these out too because they're all yellowed. So let's trim this down. Let's see, so before trimming it is 4.5. And we're going to trim it to be right about there. And then we're going to flip it over. Did I get that straight? I think so. Phew. I didn't want to cut that one. I might have got a little bit of the flower edges. Oh well. Alright, and then we'll do this down here. That's about a 1/4 inch coming off of there. Yeah. And about a 1/4 inch off the top. And I took a little bit of flower off there. So that is now about 5.5 by 4.25. I'm going to take a tiny little sliver off of here, I think. It doesn't look exactly straight to me. Anyway, there we go. Now, if I wanted to cut that down a little bit, I'd probably do it up here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off the top. I'm just not loving that. And also my trimmer, I don't know what's going on. It's a fairly new blade, but I have a little edgy thing there. So now that is 5 1/4. So let's make this 4. And to do that, we're going to take about 1/8 of an inch off both sides. Sorry, this is how I work sometimes. 1/4 inch off both sides. All right, hope I did that. Is that 4? Yes. All right. Done with that for now. All right, I am going to go pick out some cardstock. Let me show you the dies we're going to use, though. Let me wipe my fingers off a little bit. The dies we're going to use are these Dress My Craft. I'm pretty sure I got them at scrapbook.com, I think. And we're going to use the big dies. I put all these little ones in here too, but these look like daisies to me. These, well, some of those do too, but I want big for in the middle here. So we're going to use these. Let me pull these out. Sorry for the crinkling. I'm going to go ahead and die cut these, maybe in white, and put little centers in yellow or something. Or pale yellow, maybe like lemon lolly. So let me do that. I'm going to go ahead and die cut some, and then we'll come back and I'll get a card base. We'll come back and make a card or two with these stencils I just did. Okay? See you in a minute. Okay, everyone. So I die cut a bunch of these. Well, I did them twice. And this is what I end up with now. You could use this as a stencil also, you know. If so, save your negatives, although this one got doubled, so I redid it down here. Anyway, you get the idea. So I feel like I'm probably going to just do one here. I was putting them all around, but I think I'm going to have a focal point. I may bring back in the mask and draw in a green, similar to peeled paint. I found a crushed curry card base already cut, so we're going to use that, but I feel like I need some green in here. It's too much. And also these little things, I don't have that attached yet, are long retired. They're perennial essence floral centers. Love those things. And I also brought out, in case I want to use it on the next card, these little loose daisy embellishments that I can glue down. I've used them before. Oh, here. This is Granny Apple Green, so we may use that to draw around it if it's close to. Let's test that actually. And what I did, I die cut them all in white, and then I just took scattered straw and carefully went outward from the center. And I say carefully because my first big one has a boo-boo. But I kept it because I can, you know, like glue dot that down and then cover it with something, like another one of the daisies, that kind of thing. But I think on the first one, we're just going to use the big one and actually maybe have a little hello down here, but it needs some green on it. So actually we're going to keep this here. And I found these little dots in this artistically inked stamp set. So that's what we're going to, I think we're going to try that. Now let me just test that since I have Granny Apple Green out. Close enough. Actually, they're closer to Old Olive maybe, so I'll see if I can get that out too. Let me check that actually. If I have it here. Ooh, I'm dropping things. Sorry. I think this is this Old Olive. I have all the markers from 2018 and some of the in colors, but I'm not buying all of them anymore. Yeah, we'll use Old Olive. It's closer to whatever this is. What did I say? Peeled paint. Where's the lid? peeled paint. And I just feel like I need to, but there's not a lot of space in there. I only really need like 2 dots or, okay, hang on. What I'm going to do is try and not get this last dot inked. So we're going to get a little tiny piece of masking tape for the next time and mask that off and carefully try and get 3 dots in here. Let's see. I might totally ruin this, but I think it'll be all right. Just remind me to take the masking tape off before I stamp, because if you don't, guess what happens? You get a big blob. All right, I'm gonna just do it carefully on the edge there, hopefully. I guess it doesn't matter if they get a little bit on the daisies. I don't know. That one looks like it's on the edge of the flowers. Oh, that one got 4. It's okay. Just needed a little more, some other color in there. Right? And I don't mind it up here because those daisies are hardly showing at all there. Maybe this wasn't the perfect solution, but it's working a little bit, I think. Especially if I draw a circle to highlight, or better idea, I can cut a circle, die cut a circle, I think I'll do that, out of Old Olive and put the daisy popped up on that. What do you think? Do you think that's a good idea? I do. But, you know, it's my card, so. Ooh, all right, I have to clean this. I got a little line on that one. I'm not happy. Eh. All right, I wasn't paying enough attention. You see? You see what I do? I do stuff like that, and it doesn't make me happy. A little more right here. Try and cover up our boo-boo there. One more over here. And maybe one here and here. Okay, I'm starting to not care if I get them on the little daisies. All right, let me find a circle and die cut it out of Old Olive cardstock instead of tracing around the mask, and then layer this on top of it. And I think we'll stamp this in. Let's go ahead and stamp that on a scrap right now in Old Olive. Forgive my reach and my PJ sleeve. Too much information. I know. It's already 8:30 in the morning, but I haven't gotten myself cleaned up and ready yet for the day. I'm just crafting in my PJs. I know some of you do that. Raise your hand if you craft in your PJs. Let me know. I'm not the only one out here in craft world. I think that added so much more to that. What do you think? I'm really happy with that. All right, I'm going to be right back. I'll find a die. Okay, everyone, here is what we're going to end up with. I cut the card down a little bit more. I also flipped it so that our little boo-boo down here with the edge of that dot stamp is at the bottom. I brought in 2 things. This embossing folder from Honeybee Stamps called, I don't know, but it's daisies. Oh, Daisy Field 3D embossing folder HBEF005. I think I just got it like within the last 6 months or a year, so it might still be available. I don't know. And then for the dies, I decided to bring in The Thoughtful Expressions dies. They are part of a bundle from Stampin' Up called Thoughtful Expressions. I think these are in the mini catalog that only goes through April, I think. I used these here the first time I had ever used them because I had them with my stamp set since it was a bundle, but really, and I need to do that because of these, but really these two can be used for anything, so that's why I'm using them. So I die cut it first and then I ran it through that 3D embossing folder, and I think I'm going to end it with just a little bit of, this is actually bumblebee ribbon, but I love this ribbon. I put a little bow down here in this corner. So let's assemble. I don't have anything stuck on yet. Ugh. And this is Old Olive cardstock. I did not emboss that. I only embossed that center part. I think that's enough embossing. So let's see if I can get this on semi-straight. Pretty good if it doesn't move on me. So that's kind of a trick, is just press down instead of trying to slide it after you get it where you want it. But the nice thing about wet glue is you can slide it a little bit if you need to, which I always seem to need. All right, now we're going to do the same thing. So I'm using Old Olive on the mat. This is a piece of crushed curry, which I thought matched the center of the daisies pretty well, right? Now you could just leave this white and trace around that mask like I said, but I feel like I need something more. Let's take this sticky dot off of here and put that on our daisy. Just commit to it, Deb. Oops. Except the sticky dot stuck to Deb. Did I get it in the center? Pretty good, huh? And I think, actually let's glue this down first. Now this is a 3D and you can see how detailed. I could splat that with something, but I think we have enough texture and stuff going on that I'm not going to. If I was going to do it, I'd use probably gold or something. Let's see, what do I want at the top? I think I want that little, one of the double ridges up there at the top. Make sure I cover that whole circle and that it's sort of even. I really like how I did the backgrounds, and I think I'm going to glue a little bit of these petals down too, as well as the center. Hopefully they'll stick. But I'll leave the outer part of the petals. Is that centered? Not exactly. Pretty close. There we go. Hopefully that'll work. And then let's glue these two together where I stamped the hello from Artistic, I don't know what I do with it, Artistic Expressions, I believe it's called. I can tell that this die set is going to become a favorite, and probably that whole bundle with the hummingbird. And I'm going to use dimensionals. Hopefully reaching won't. Now, because I want to cover that little boo-boo right there, you know, that we had, what the Deb had. And I don't want to cover the petal up. Can we turn it? We can. We might have to glue that down a little better, but that'll work right there. So I'm going to put glue on that part, but we're going to have a dimensional down here, maybe 2 dimensionals down here. And a little glue on the top part, because that 3D thing is so dimensional. I don't need to put anything else there to help it. I rather like that. I am concerned about this though. Oops. Now we could put one of these little daisies down here, but I think we'll just find a yellow embellishment of some sort. But let's do the little ribbon thing first, and I'm gonna need glue dots for that. Where's my glue dots at? There's some there. There we go. I might need 2 of them. Hey, sorry this is turning into a long video, but and I haven't even gotten to card 2. I might just do card 2 separately and come back and show you because I don't know what I'm doing with it yet, and I don't want to hold you up anymore. I just pull them down, pull that tighter. I think that'll be good enough. And that's going to go like right here. Yes, I think I like that. Let me stare at it a little bit and make sure. All right, I had to cut that one down a little bit. Sorry if I was off camera to cut that. Now I'm going to put 2 glue dots. One sort of right there on the green and one right there. And that'll hopefully keep that. The problem I have is not the bow coming off, but the bow, I got it stuck on me. Hang on. Yep, there we go. The bow, like coming undone. You know what I mean? So the back may be glued down, but the things come out, and one right there. Okay, that one's stuck. Let's try that and see if it'll be enough. So sometimes I stick a little, in fact I'm going to, I think, but let me get this tacked down first. Sometimes I stick another little, glue dot like under here so that that doesn't pull open. Have to get the paper off first, but I didn't. Oh, come on. Should not be using my ribbon scissors for this. There we go. There we go. A little better. No. All right, yeah, that'll work. Okay. Is there anything else I should do? Yes, I should find some yellow embellishments. I'll be right back. Well, that was quick. I have this pack I've been using. These are crushed curry, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to put a couple of them on the green background. Let me get this thing. Jewel picker thingy. Jewel picker. Marvy jewel picker. We're just going to use all the same size. It didn't come with me. Jewel picker, you're not doing your job. Wow, it's just sliding around. I should probably put a little bit of glue, right? But I'm not going to. Put one on here. Actually, we'll put 2 on there. I don't like all that white space. Okay, this is ridiculous. There we go. So do we sort of have a triangle? A little bit. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. All right, card number 1. I will do the inside. I will probably just put a piece of white, and I could maybe put one of these little daisies in there too. And I think I'll just put, or maybe 2 on a piece of white scrap, and maybe a piece of white scrap with some green textured, and then these at the bottom on top of the white, and that will go like that, and that'll be the inside. And I'll put some little gems or something, maybe these little gems on the inside. Okay, well, let me stick that in there. So let's figure out the second card. Let me bring that in if I can find it. I had it right here. Here it is. So this is the next card. This one is a little more difficult for me, I think. I feel like I need a sentiment here. And maybe this one we can have a little bit of cascading daisies like this. Maybe I'll darken them a little bit. And a sentiment here. And maybe I want it on Old Olive cardstock. I was trying to see if I had. Sometimes I have scraps up in my little bin here, but I don't see any. So let me bring in another piece. Oh, you know what? I have this piece from die cutting the circles, and I'll probably have to cut this card down a little bit too. Yeah, I will. So if we go like that, or let me think about this a little more, and I'll be right back. Okay, everyone, I decided to bring that little dot back in. I'm going to try and do one dot, so we'll see. And just in a few places on the top up here. I was thinking originally of maybe just splattering. Oh, I didn't even get that on the card. I'm using the peeled paint ink again by the Distress Oxide. Now see, I got it. I got more. Let's cover them up, because I really only want that one dot. Alright, I need a longer strip of that so I can cover it. You really should cover it, put the ink on, then take it off, which I'm maybe gonna have to do. I don't know. But since I had ink on them, and I'm not sure I got it off good. There. Let's go like this. It'd be easier if I had a one dot. I could cut that off and then have a 3 section and a 1 section, right? But I'm just trying to be really careful and get just the one dot. I don't know why, I just want only one on this because it's a smaller. Oop, I hardly got that one. Yeah, I got 2 that time. I guess it's okay. Put one here. Let's turn it around. And put one here. Now these I'm not too concerned with because they're going to be covered up. And I picked out a sentiment I'll show you in a minute. I think I need another one over there actually. Right there. I feel like I need maybe one right in here. Let me flip it and look, and I think I need one right there too. Okay. And maybe one up here at the top. Alright, I think that's all I'm gonna do. If I feel like I need more, I'll come back and do them. So the sentiment I picked out, the dots are out of artistically inked. I don't know if that's retired or not. And I'm going to use this, I think I'm going to use this, Sending a Little Smile Your Way, because it's long and I just like that. And it's going to go down here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stamp that in Old Olive because I don't like stamping sentiments with Distress Oxides. I just don't like the way it looks. Maybe Distress ink would be alright, but I don't have many colors in that. So we're going to do this across here. These are going to come here like this. And I have to figure out something for the center of this. And actually, I think I want that to kind of come down a little bit there. Or maybe I should die cut another one of the same size and have it loop down and then have this stamped in Old Olive on white, but I might also put either crushed curry or something. Let me just see something. Would this overbear that little one? No, I might do that, actually. Okay. It's like I have this supply. I hate to use it because I don't want it to disappear, but I want to use it too. And I don't think I'm going to add texture in the background on this one. I just think I did have to cut the card down to the mat to 5 by 3 3/4. This is 5 1/4 by 4. And then, of course, the A2 size card is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to go ahead and finish it up and do the insides of both cards, and I'll come back and show them to you. Okay, everyone, here's the grand finale. This is our card number 1, which you've seen the front of, and the only thing I can say is I probably should have gone over this little white thing with scattered straw because it's much more white than the daisy, but I'm not going to do it now. It's after the fact kind of thing. Okay, and on the inside, on this one, I used crushed curry Stampin' Right, which is a water-based, dye-based marker. Okay, so that's card number 1. And then card number 2, which just had the part up here. I didn't quite get these glued down in the angle that I wanted, and they started drying. In fact, I had to pull this one up, and I almost tore it because I had it hanging off the edge of the card, and this one I moved a little bit, but it's still a little over too far anyway. And I found that the little fuzzy centers fit okay on that one. And then I figured this out for the inside. I just took some crushed curry scrap and used my 1/4 inch hole punch and hole punch little circles to go on those. Now, I did not do that on this one because these centers are actually like the small one, but I did put one on that small one just because it was the only one that didn't have a center, and my only other hole punch is 1/8, and that was too small. And I did put dots here, and I decided to put, you know, the little green dots down in the bottom because it just looked too much of a contrast. And inside, instead of using the marker, I used the hole punch, and I did not texture this on this one. I kind of like it better with the texture, but it also makes the card a little thicker. So I don't know if I recommend that. So those are my 2 cards. Let me know what you think down below. Do you like this, not a collab, series that I'm doing, Stencil-A-Month? Did you enjoy this using the Spellbinders February Stencil of the Month, the honeybee stamps, daisy field embossing folder, and then some Stampin' Up stamps and dies, sentiment out of here, sending a little smile your way, the little dots out of here, artistically inked, and the thoughtful expressions dies that go with this stamp set, which I'll be using again soon. I need to do a sympathy card, like right now. Anyway, all right, that's all for this video. Please give it a like, which is a thumbs up, down below if you wouldn't mind. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. It helps me in the YouTube algorithms, go figure, to get recognized and come up in your notifications. Ring the bell twice so you get me in notifications too. Make it filled in. Okay? All right, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Hugs, love, and peace.